Today I've got one of the disruptors in the market. This is the Kirkland Signature Driver from Costco. It really reminds me of the Mizuno drivers. It was incredibly straight. It did perform better. So now we probably run down to Costco. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the tech and what this product brings to market. So, I mean, it has a carbon-like effect on the top of the crown here, and I do believe it is carbon, and that's very cool. I mean, it really reminds me of the Mizuno drivers. Very similar, sort of has a carbon effect, and then it sort of moves into more of a sort of a solid black color. But of the heads that I used to work with in terms of my fitting days, it really reminds me of the ST range from Mizuno. Some guys online have also said it reminds them of some of the Callaway drivers, and I think it does have a little bit of a look at the Callaway Maverick driver. Two great looking heads that I've mentioned there, so that's definitely not a bad thing. Again, remember the price point that we're looking at here, $199. Looking at the face and looking at the profile, I mean, on the bottom, it almost has a little bit of the Titleist looks to it, dare I say. Maybe not the GT series, but sort of previous models, quite sleek. Look at they've done a little bit on the aerodynamics in terms of through the sole shape here. It's not quite as aerodynamic looking as, let's say, a QI10 is, but you can see that they've put a little bit of effort into here in terms of the shape on it. Would be really interested to find out exactly who is building these driver heads for them. Is there an R&D department that works for Kirkland? I'm gonna have to try and track that down for you guys and let you know in a later video. This is a 10.5 degree head. Now, I typically play a 9 degree head, so there's definitely too much loft on this golf club for me. However, you can move it. It's got a -1 setting, it's got a +1 setting, and you can also move it around to a 10.5 degrees, but in a draw setting. So it does give you some options to try and manipulate the face here as well. A bit like other products that I've tested for you most recently, these guys who are bringing direct to consumer product, they don't give you the custom fit options per se. So this has got an even flow, Riptide. Even flow is a shaft that was brought out by Project X, now owned by the True Temper company. And the Riptide was a product that was actually in a whole host of different companies, sort of stock options. This is the 60 gram in the 6.0. 6.0 is the frequency reading, and that is the equivalent of an S-Flex. You know, I think they've gone middle of the road with this in terms of it should fit a varied array of swing speeds and golfers. It's definitely not going to be playing as stiff as the shaft that I've got in, or, you know, profile-wise, it's not going to play as firm as the shaft I've got in my own driver. So I think I won't be able to reach my top speeds with it, but I think if I'm at a cruising speed, it will probably perform quite nicely. Then it's finished off with a nice Lambkin Crossline 360 grey. So they haven't skimped out, so to speak, on the grip and the shaft. You know, they've gone for some premium product there. And when you put it down on the ground, it's got a nice round shape to it. It's pretty symmetrical. It looks pretty good, I have to say. For the price point, I'm really impressed with that. Put it down by the golf ball. Let's have a little look what it looks like. It definitely sits a little bit closed. No two ways about that. And I have heard other reviewers say that before as well. And the problem with that is for somebody like myself who draws the golf ball, it just feels like it's going to go left on me. And I know I generally compensate because of that. So that'll be quite interesting to see. I could put it into the -1 setting, which would open that club face, as we know from previous reviews that I've done. When you manipulate the loft, when you take loft off of it, you're generally opening the face. When you're adding, you're generally closing the face. So I could probably get this to look better, but I want to try and hit some in its standard setting before we get too funky with it. Worth noting, comes with a head cover, comes with a wrench. Gonna hit some shots now with it. Not gonna go absolutely flat out, just gonna see how it performs, give you some impressions on the feel of it. Initial thoughts there, haven't hit a few shots on it. It's definitely picks up the spin. I've struggled to kind of keep that below 3,000 RPMs of spin, and I'm not a particularly high spin player generally. And as you'll see from my previous videos, I usually live at around sort of 2,200, 2,300. Can sometimes dip below 2,000 if I do catch one off the toe, which is my miss. So to see the spin there above 3,000 RPMs tells me that the head is quite a spinny head. It just means that it's not aimed at me as a golfer. It is designed for somebody who probably lacks a little bit of height, initial launch, initial spin. And actually that launch and that spin profile of this Kirkland driver, I should say, sorry, is gonna give you a bit more launch, a bit more spin, a bit more carry yardage at slower clubhead speeds. I would also say that I could really feel the shaft sort of kicking as well. drive in the loft underneath to give me more dynamic loft, which is also giving me much more launch and spin as well. It's just not aimed at me, and I was trying to swing at 100 miles an hour. It's not aimed at somebody who's swinging at 3 digits, 100 miles an hour. It's really aimed at the golfer, slower swing speed. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit a few at a slower swing speed and then throw the numbers up so you can see the difference in the graphics, and talk to you a little bit about how you've really got to dial in launch and spin for club head speed and the particular golfer that you are, effectively where you sit in the market. This isn't going to be a driver that's going to be used by professionals. It's going to be used by your recreational golfers, and really they've done quite a good job from what I can see at creating a driver that is going to aid those particular players. Let's swing some at about 10% lower club head speed and see how we get on. Hit a couple there at some slower swing speeds, and it definitely, well, not definitely, it did perform better. No two ways about that. You can definitely see that the spin sort of stays in and around sort of that early 3,000 RPM mark. So it's not a low spin bomber, that's for sure. I've hit a couple there, even slightly toe side, and I think I just about managed to get it below 3,000 RPMs at 2,800, but definitely not what I would consider as low. The shaft felt a lot better at that swing speed as well. So I think if you're swinging this at sort of between 85 to 90 miles an hour with your driver, then actually this even flow riptide shaft that you've got in here would be a really nice option for you guys. If you're somebody who you've been to the driving range, and even if you're just getting into the golf game, getting back into the game I should say, and you're swinging at sort of 100, 105, 110, this isn't going to be the setup for you. If you're somebody who's trying to get as much yardage as you possibly can, this isn't going to aid you. That being said, and the caveat is, it was incredibly straight, and as you can see from the shots that I hit there, my overall dispersion was about 5 or 6 yards left of target, which is incredible for sort of the 6 drives that I've hit so far, even at different club head speeds there as well. It's very consistent, and it's also very forgiving. So kudos to Kirkland Signature for creating a driver that's very stable, I would say that. Definitely because of the construction of this head, it's definitely a high spinner, as is the shaft. If you're quicker club head speeds, if you're looking for lower spin, this definitely isn't the model for you guys. If you're somebody who struggles with launch and spin, then I would probably run down to Costco and grab yourself one of these, because it could be worth a try for you guys. Impressed with that, I have to say, for $199, I think if you're just getting into the market, maybe if you're a junior golfer, you're not particularly strong, your club head speed isn't quite there yet, you could definitely find some good numbers with that as a product, I think. And also it would just be that introduction to the golf game for the junior golfer, for the younger golfer, or if you're just getting back into the game, dipping your toe back in, not too sure about product, on a bit of a budget, not sure if you're gonna get back into the game full time, you maybe just want to play a couple of times a year, you're looking for something that's just gonna do you for a couple of games, again, that's where that Kirkland Signature might be a really nice product for you guys. Looking forwards, and hopefully I'm going to be able to get hold of some of the other Kirkland product as well. They've got irons, they've got wedges, you can do a full bag of Kirkland Signature, so I'm hoping to get hold of that product and I can test that, guys, for you as well. I want to do some on-course stuff, and I also want to do some simulator stuff as well. It's interesting, have you guys hit it? Let me know in the comments below. What's your thoughts? $199, is that attractive, or is it just out and out performance nowadays? I want to hear from you guys. If you've got one, how have you been getting on with it? Have you found what I just found in the test there? Is it very straight? Is it very consistent? If you enjoyed that video, guys, hit the like button. If you haven't already, could you please subscribe to the channel? It really helps us, and it also helps us build the community, which is what we're after as well. Look forward to seeing you in the next review. Cheers now.